Well, shit. What's the? We try to lean a little bit towards solutions. You know, when we talk on our show, like what we came up with our solution, which is in progress, which is essentially we call it get out of the system, man. GOOTS. You know, Gooch. You got to get the fuck out. Like we've talked a little bit about it before. Like it's just like you got to recreate a tribe. You have to, whether that's you're all centrally located, which is what we're trying to kind of lean towards with a farm, or it's just within a group of people that maybe you're spread out throughout the town. How, because there's a lot of shows that just talk about this shit.
Yeah.
Right. And it is time to be about it. I mean, the talking about it, as far as I'm concerned, is over. Like
I think the solution is like what you said, and to a degree, in building these networks, like you guys, you hitting me up, and then like us using that social media to our advantage.
Yeah.
And then me seeing like, oh, this guy's on from different time. He's not, posing in a picture with a gun with a mask on, talking about, he's not on the, I'm like, this guy's intelligent. Let me see. Oh, then we start networking, and now we build a relationship, and you find other like minds. Because at the next level phase of this reset, or this, whatever you want to call it, you have to know that the people you're around are similar, like-minded, for conscious purposes and for energy purposes. Like, I'm not all the way like, oh, okay, I know, like, people can't unplug sometimes from the sports stuff. I haven't watched a sporting event in a long time. I watch it for people of the major because I know that's the mentality, but I'm not really involved in it. I'll never paint myself the color of a team. Run around. Dude, look, hey, somebody scored. Okay, what's the score? Whatever. I'm just there. Not really there, but there. So I play that. But when my personal time, I'd rather spend it with people like you guys. And this is where I give my quality to. There's times where I'm doing things or riding my bike, and I look at my phone and I got all these numbers. I said, man, I'm not calling none of these people, man. It's a waste of my time. I'd rather elevate my conscience, because that's how it says, it's almost the saying like less is better.
Yeah.
And that's what it comes down to. Less is more. You have 50 people. Oh, man. I used to see it on the yard. We deep. Yeah, man, we're deep, man. You're deep with a bunch of idiots. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what they're saying. They're like, oh, yeah, you can jump me. You guys just do whatever. But all you guys, none of you have a mind. You can't think. You're not conscious of what is going on because you're deep, but you're not using that power for anything. If you're deep, if you had every day you sent 20 guys to the law library, you picked up 20 books and read 20 pages, and you all shared those 20 pages of knowledge, how powerful could that be?
Yeah.
But you're not using it for nothing.
Yeah.
So that's the thing to me, is finding the less is more and getting around like minds and sharing ideas, whether it be like, property, finances, the next level stuff we talked about. All this stuff, now we're winning. So to make it, I don't care we're winning regardless, because we're all on the same page. But like, you can't have everybody on the page, because some people's not ready, and it's just not going to happen. I told my wife the reality of it. I have friends I've known for 20, 30. I'm like, you know what? You just got to accept them for who they are.
Yeah.
It's not, you can't, if you gave that person $1 million, 3-4 years later, they'd be back to zero. You can't help them, bro. They're not spiritually conscious. They're not financially conscious. They're just not.
I think there's things that you can't just, like, telling people. Information is not enough all the time. Like you said with the spiritual thing, you have to be in a place. Some of the stuff that we were like talking about in the other stuff we were talking about, people they just reject it because it's totally out of their paradigm, and so they have to get themselves to a point where they can even hear it. And so I think part of it is like your discernment, like figuring out which of the people you're engaging with are even at a place where they can hear you. So
Well, you know what? It's almost like what you said. You have to almost have gone through like the gauntlet. And to be honest with you, because you like your background, your friends, those are the only people, and maybe a person like a prison, like I found some smart dudes, just like you found smart dudes in the military. If you haven't went through that gauntlet, you're not going to understand it. Because you're not even questioning. The gauntlet makes you question shit.
Yeah.
Because you get in some situations where, bro, like, fuck, man, I just want to this shit is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, you're thinking, man, and that makes you question existence. Most people have never witnessed that. They never experienced that. And so the information is, like you said, is not enough because they haven't met that crossroad in a life situation. Some people can maybe get it, but those are the people maybe like in the Ivy League and some of these private fraternities.
Yeah, they seem
that's
behind
a
the
different.
curtain.
That's a different level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's not like that's the stuff like we wouldn't get to because that's a whole nother game where it's being taught, but they're part of that group of people.
Yeah, there probably are people that have had that kind of access, seen behind the curtain, and thought about it and been like, yeah, no. But now they know how it works. You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a good interview with a guy, I just forgot his name, but I want to say he produced the movie Trading Places. And I believe it was Alex Jones that interviewed him. But the guy started running for, I think, the governor spot in Nevada. And I think it was Nick Rockefeller bumped the guy. And that's what he's talking to Alex Jones about inside this conversation. And the snippet of the conversation that usually makes it out is the part where he's talking about women's lib was a Rockefeller-funded thing to get women out of the house and get them into the tax base.
Yeah.
And that also breaks the family and lets the kids be wrapped up into public schools, right? So now we're not telling them what's right in the family; they're getting told what's right from the schoolhouse. But so that was one of the guys who then got the offer, like what you're just saying. But then was like, "No, man, what the fuck is wrong with you?"
Yeah.
Oh, they're trying to give him an offer?
Yeah. Because basically what it explains during the interview with Jones is like the guy gave up the goods. He's like, yeah, we're going to microchip all these fucking people. We're going to kill about half of them, and we're going to microchip the rest of them. And the guys ask him, he's like, well, what's the point of that? And he's like, it's power. It's simple power.
They're the ones who basically created the funding for the HBCUs.
Yeah.
So we're giving you the education we want you to have, so you won't want to go to our schools.
Yeah.
Because we don't want you to hear what we're talking about.
Yeah, and then they get everybody thinking that the HBCUs are the best thing in the world. Yeah, man.
Dude, when I seen that, and I hear brothers like, "Oh man, you got to." I'm like, dude, you're not getting this tip of the eye. It's almost like that. The quote at a silent of Quiet Wars: "Your smartest and brightest would never even have a chance to compete at a level with our lowest because you're getting such a watered down version of what you think. Even if you have the Mercedes house, you don't have a clue of how things really work."
Yep.
You're not even on the board.
You're operating in the false paradigm. That basically, you're operating within the game box that they gave you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and most people don't understand that they're in a game.
No. No.
They're just playing it all like it's just all happening organically. Nobody's
Well,
up
the
to
best
no
prisoners and slaves are the ones that don't know they're prisoners and don't know they're slaves.
Good. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
good times.
Yeah. It's definitely interesting, man. And I love, like, to me, man, I get excited when I see stuff. And, like, I remember, well, I was just listening to the thing, but he was talking about, like, think about this, right, man, how powerful this shit is, right? You talk about, like, LeBron Duncan or this guy, bust some Adam 22's wife with he got a big PP and all this stuff. This guy can run fast. Everybody's concerned with these things, these acts, these feats. But then you have over here 6 men who create the Federal Reserve Act and it still stands.
Yeah.
These dudes are fuck running a touchdown, jumping, dunking. Okay, you dunked on this dude, you busted her cheeks, you got a big swipe. Dude, these dudes created something. What type of game is that? 6 men plotted to take over the world, bro, and it's still going.
Yep.
These guys is getting... Now imagine anybody who knew these people who were even close to that level where they're at right now in the world with their lineage.
Oh yeah. Anybody that got in on the ground floor of that.
Or your cousin. He knew them dudes and you're part of, so you trickle down game.
Yeah.
Hey, Aren, we're over here on of the coast of Italy and you're hanging out. Dude, your game, that's why when you watch games, you're watching the game, you're like, dude, you don't care like you're hey, let me get him to sign a jersey. I didn't even know who won the game.
Yeah.
These dudes are on some other shit, bro.
Yeah.
This shit is crazy. I look at that like, bro, that's gangster. That's real gangster.
I mean, the people that started the war on terror. I mean,
who coined it?
Yeah, who coined it?
Yeah.
The authors of the Project for a New American Century.
Yeah.
Somebody sat down and wrote that. Kissinger, man.
Yeah.
Oh, he just died.
Yeah.
100 years, this big gangster, bro. Henry Kissinger was a consultant for all those presidents, and he was telling them all, bro, he's in there for 100 years. This motherfucker lived for 100 years.
Imagine that, like, for better or for worse. I mean, I don't like the guy. I think he's evil. But, like, at the end of a life like that, looking back, being like, look at all this. Like,
wow, dude, he's seen everything.
That's real
power.
Everything.
That's real power.
Forget money. That's... Yeah, man, that's wild.
It's like when you look at that, and like you talk about like, some of the, we haven't been to some of those places, but you go to these places and you're talking and you hear a whisper of something, and you look and the guy makes eye contact and you smile, you know what I mean? It's like, dude, it's almost like this. This is like a talk almost back in the day, like if you say you were walking around in sandals with your fucking garbs on in Egypt, and you walked and you did something and you did a little shake, oh, and and then you point over there and there's a room and you push it and open the door, you go in and there's a bunch of other people on the same time and they're like, damn, this motherfucker packed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But on the street, nobody knows what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
It's just like us sitting in this gallery, it's quiet, whatever, and here it is on the street, motherfuckers eating burritos outside. They don't know what the hell's going on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dude, the game is it's right there, but it's not.
Yeah.
And it's like, I used to always think, like, man, what if I would have known this when I was 20 and I could have been busting all the girls' cheeks and been balling, had all this game, but I wasn't ready. I've been out of control.
Yeah.
Draining myself, all shriveled up from, and just being, it's too much power for a young person.
Well, I think that's what happens to some of these elite families. It's like they can maintain for a couple generations, but
self-destruct.
Well, their children get born into this situation, and they become completely. They don't have the discipline to handle that information about how everything works, and then all the wealth, and so they become like Hunter Biden, and they're just.
Have you seen Billions?
I've seen it. I saw like the first season of it. Worth watching.
I've seen a little bit of it, but that's similar where they're all dysfunctional.
Yeah.
I got a friend, and he does AA out here, and he tell me like all the famous people and all these rich people he sees out here, like in Malibu, and people who've been in promises and stuff, and they sign NDAs. And dude, you think about these people have their dude never worked. All these things, benefits, right?
Yeah.
And they're all fucked up on drugs.
Yeah, because they have no opportunity to build any character or anything. You get born into everything just being handed to you. High chance you're going to become a piece of shit.
Yeah. I had another friend in the Bay Area. He told me one time his friend had a trust, right? And he was giving, when he turned 18, he was given, I want to say, he said, either 18 million or 20 million, right? And yeah, he said he was going through his money, and he said, man, he was like 30, he was in 38, and he was down to like his last 4 or 5 million. He said, man, at this rate, by the time I'm 50, I'm gonna be broke. And he said his dad knew, so when he turned 40 or 45, he got like another 14 or 15. He said this guy was balling like, his dad said, because I knew you would fucking run through your money. And so, but this is how these rich people think, you know what I mean? Like, you're such a loser, you fucking
I'm
punk.
Keep another 15 mil.
Until they wait for it. When you turn age, your trustees are going to give you another, but we knew you couldn't handle all of it at one time. Yeah. But that's how, you know what I mean? So these people, when you talk about them, like, dude, they don't give a, they're on another level. Dude, their shit's on another level, bro. You imagine?
He was allowed to learn a $40 million lesson.
Yeah.
Dude, he said he was damn near crying. Oh, man, I'm down to my last 3-4 billion, man. He's like, what? 3 or 4 million? Yeah, I inherited 18. I'm like 30-something, bro. I've been partying. Like, dude, I bought a house and stuff, man. I don't know what I'm going to do. He's never had to do anything. And then he found out, the trustee said when I turn, I'm going to get this other money and then come later. I said, dude, what the? Yeah, he said, dude, these people, man. He was telling me, like, he knew these different people. I'm like, dude, it's crazy. I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine, Pete, man.
That's another whole
nother game, man. You know what I mean? Like, there was another guy that another friend I had. His friend was like Italian royalty, right? He was like literally like considered a prince, but they're not like the Prince of Monaco, but he was like a prince, but he was part of some bloodline over there. But so he would get $30,000 a month, right, as his trust, right? And this dude, but he's on drugs. He did this. He, the guy, he lived in L.A. and and hang around these different groups of people. But at one point, he wanted to assimilate into the culture so much. He had got all his tattoos and looked damn near like he was like a Hispanic gang member. Like, you like, look at the dude, but he's Italian.
Yeah.
But because he wanted to fit in so much, but this is how much. But he wasn't like, because he had means.
Yeah.
But he was trying to. The influence, and that's what I'm like, they always say, that's why people always say, the company you keep, be careful, bro. Because even them, that's why, if you notice these people, you want to date your daughter, Aren, where are you from? What did your father do?
Yeah, right.
What did your mother do? Oh, what is your 5-year plan? What's your 10-year plan? So what is your you know, what is your objective with my daughter?
Yeah, and make sure you're not coming after the money.
What would it take to make you go away, Aren?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
Why don't I just
you
give
know,
you
she
20
said, I
grand
love, you don't love Susie.
Yeah.
Susie doesn't really love you. So name your offer, man. Here,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
Aren,
yeah.
I mean, let's make this easy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It ain't the fact that, but he's like, God damn, I don't want you tapping into my trust.
Yeah.
My daughter has the trust. You know what I mean? And she's, right now, you're dicking her down, so she's confused. You know what I mean? So, but these are how people think, man. So, you know, poor people don't think like this.
Yeah.
Fucking dude, some of these girls, 4 baby daddies. You know what I mean? I'm like, I seen something on the date on Twitter. There was a girl with her baby in the high chair. She's twerking, looking back with the baby. I'm like, dude, and she's thinking, I'm like, who thinks that's cute?
Yeah.
Do you think those people, how disgusting is that, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your kid is like, he got a bib on. The mom is shaking her ass. These are the moms today.
Yeah.
Dude, it's not hard to win at this level.
Right.
That's the one upshot is, it's when you figure some stuff out, you got a huge advantage.
Dude, there was another video. My friend sent me all the crazy videos. There was a dude, he was rapping, yeah, dude,
Oh, shooting
dude, yeah, hey, boom. And he was literally on a porch. There was people like hooting in the hallway, and he was like kind of saying stuff, but shooting in the air. Just random bullets flying in the air. But this is like stuff like no care in the world, straight bullets, stuff. But these are like, when you put videos out there and people see this, what do you think whoever's running, what do you think when they see this, they're like, see?
Yeah, we do talk about that
Yeah.
a lot as well. Is you know, you can't be too angry at the they or the them or the powers that be for doing the gnarly shit that they do. Like when you look around and see how we act sometimes, you're like,
Yeah, you're like, wow, dang, we are animals.
It's hard. It's hard to have sympathy. You're like, fuck, man. Like, yeah, we are the G word. You know, like.
Well, man, I'm glad we got together,
Yeah,
bro.
man,
hell yeah,
And,
man.
you know, Aren, you know, you guys made it down, man. I wanted to make this happen, and
Yeah, I'm happy.
just collaborating. Some of the stuff you guys, we ain't gonna talk about on here. So high level shit. But we give you what we can. So take notes, whatever. But hey, man, pleasure having you guys on the show.
Yeah, man, thanks for having us.
Tell them about your guys' social media so they can check you guys out too.
Just check us out on it's the Stranger by the Hour podcast. You can find us anywhere like iTunes and Spotify.
Patreon is our Stranger by the Hour on Patreon.
Yeah, if you want to
$3
watch
a
it on
month.
video, it's $3 on Patreon.
Yeah, Stranger Pod on Instagram, Stranger by the Hour on X or Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much Stranger by the Hour across the board.
Hey, so there you have it. Big Herc 916 getting down fresh out.